got a lot to talk about today, guys, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, to start with, we've got Forgotten History sharing this image of what definitely looks like an inhuman, whatever the heck that is. Is that an ant being? Is that a mantis being? What is that? Does that have a tail? Is that just a scratch? I think it's just a scratch. But yeah, deep in the, okay, oh my God, all right, Murujuga. I totally said that right, guys. I totally said that right. In the Burrup Peninsula in Western Australia lies some of the oldest petroglyphs on Earth, carved thousands of years ago by indigenous Australians. This one, a humanoid figure with an oversized head and intricate body markings. Is this a spirit being? Is this an ancient ancestor? What is this thing? One thing I noticed is it seems to have 5 fingers, so it's not a tridactyl, but this is one of numerous seemingly NHI figures depicted by the Aboriginal peoples of Australia. And then, of course, all around the world, people were depicting these things and interacting with them. We got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies, and we're going to talk more about the Nasca mummies in a minute. But I thought that was a really intriguing image, and I had never seen that particular carving before. So now, what do you think that is? Do you think, is there a chance that they're just depicting a human here, maybe wearing some sort of headdress or something? To me, based on the proportions of this thing, it's the proportions we see with like grays and stuff, right? Not people. So I'm leaning toward NHI on this one, but let me know what you guys think. Meanwhile, did you know that Stephen Greer takes credit for the Phoenix Lights? That's right. It was all him, guys. It was all him.
Congress for the April 1997 briefings in Washington that we were doing for Congress. And so while we're there, while I'm flying in, I'm sitting in my seat, and I'm on a U.S. Airways. I called it U.S. Scareways flight. And U.S. Airways flight, they're now part of American. And we're flying in, and I decided to do the CE5 protocols. And I was told to ask the ET. So I asked the ETs to do something while I was there that would be unmistakable, that we could get to put on this reel, this video, to give the members of Congress. That was at 5:30 p.m. At 8:30 p.m., the Phoenix Lights happened as a CE5. It was a CE5. And the epicenter where it was right above the lab where I was. And this general, this guy, a former general who worked for Evergreen Congress for the April 19...
Okay, yeah, there you go. Stephen Greer taking credit for the Phoenix Lights. I love it. I love it. I mean, who knows, guys? Who knows? I do think that he has a close connection to the phenomenon, the C5, that he takes people on, and they get fantastic stuff on camera and fantastic experiences. I think that's largely legit. And he does have a close connection to the phenomenon. So you never know. You never know. But come on, really, I don't think he calls the Phoenix Light. So big head, Stephen Greer. All right, Christopher Sharp is reminding us about the mystery drones leading up to the 60 Minutes piece. I think that's going to be on Sunday. 60 Minutes is running a segment about the mystery drones. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope this brings more awareness to this really important topic, and maybe even, galvanizes somebody to do something, or release some information about it, and at least compel reporters to ask Trump about it. Why are you saying this is FAA approved craft? This is clearly not what's going on. And maybe we can provoke a reaction out of the executive branch, because of the 60 Minutes piece. So, it could be a significant event. And then Christopher Sharp, a reporter, a journalist, is letting us know, different details about the mystery drones. Here he's linking to this Liberation Times article that he co-wrote. Witness statements reveal alarming drone incursions over Langley Air Force Base as drone busters failed to intercept objects. And I'm sure I covered this back in September. But Liberation Times has obtained 22 witness statements in an incident report through FOIA following December 2023 drone incursions reported over Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. Yeah, so I'll link to this and you can read it at your leisure. But, we're all aware that these things have been around for a while, for a few years now. I guess since 2019 or 2020 in Colorado, when they appeared in a limited fashion. And that's really kind of what makes me think that maybe we're dealing with something man-made, because it was almost like a rollout or a test of that technology in Colorado a few years ago. And then they just suddenly sprung it on us, a year or so ago, in full force, or, close to it. So, is that man-made? But the rest of it is so anomalous and so global and so weird, and you can't shoot them down, and the government is lying about it, and no other government is telling us the truth about it either. So, that really seems more like UFO stuff, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. Let me know your thoughts, but maybe again, the 60 Minutes piece will provoke some answers. I hope so. I hope so. Getting back, I hate to pick on Greer too much. Greer has done a lot of good. He really does. He really has. But he's easy to pick on. He's got such a huge ego. Now, this is a funny video of Greer actually giving an interview where the interviewer challenges him. This is something I've always wanted to see. What would happen if Greer were actually challenged by an interview? This is what happens.
Entry ticket is peace. And I think that is the situation.
Okay, I understand that's your philosophy.
It's not my philosophy. It's what the evidence, this is not how I started out. This is what I have found to be true from many different witness testimonies and the observation overall and aggregate.
But our witness testimony would contradict that.
Well, fine.
So what do you do with that? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have to compare notes because, really, to be honest with you, this is valuable. Because what happens is, for better or worse, we're both out there. We're both investigating these questions, and they are open questions that actually
they are, but I think it's rather unhelpful if you go onto a blog and say that what I'm saying and doing is sinister. I think that, I have never said anything harmful about you guys.
It's insidious. The reason it's insidious
and I think that this is exactly the kind of thing. And I'm going to absolutely, you invited me to an interview, I'm going to provide an interview. If you want to overtalk everything I say, you can overtalk what I say.
You overtalk us.
But I am telling you that I'm being interviewed. And so the point is that if...
It's mutual. See, you don't know this, and I'm sorry. We didn't have time to tell you our philosophy of how we conduct an interview, but I did kind of...
Okay, anyway, I just had to share that. But he has done a lot of good. Popularizing CE5, popularizing human-initiated contact with the beyond. I think that's huge. I think that's an amazing thing. Bringing forth great whistleblowers like Michael Herrera, he's done a lot of good. But he does spread a lot of disinformation, and a lot of people take him seriously. And I think that's dangerous. He even could potentially brief the president about UFOs. And if he's spreading disinformation, I think that's, about alien abductions particularly. I think that's really unfortunate and not good. And also, spreading disinformation about alien abductions is invalidating the lived experience of countless people. Well, I say countless, but we can actually kind of put a number to it, a rough estimate based on the Roper poll done by Bud Hopkins, John Mack, and David Jacobs, and with later information supplied by David Jacobs. From that, we can just kind of guess maybe 3% or more of the world populace are abductees, which would put, a number equal to or exceeding 200 million people. That's insane. That's staggering. That's horrifying. I'm encouraged that the longtime abductees seem to think favorably of their experiences, but still, that's a huge scale, and this is a generational thing. And these, a lot of these people are taken many times a year. This is not the U.S. military doing this, and him to minimize this very important topic and to say that it's not caused by the phenomenon, I think is harmful. That is disinformation, again, invalidating people's experiences and also spreading disinformation about the phenomenon in this very important aspect of the phenomenon. This is clearly why a lot of the phenomenon is taking place. And to understand the phenomenon, we have to understand what it's doing, and this is a massive project that it is undergoing. And you can't deny it. You can't deny it. It's not helpful. Meanwhile, the Nazca mummies are on their way to the Constitutional Court in Peru. This is really interesting. In September 2023, lawyer Jorge Flores filed a compliance claim for the Ministry of Culture to comply with its obligations regarding the cultural heritage Nazca mummies, specifically requesting that it allow its research and access to them, in addition to promoting their dissemination. The Ministry of Culture filed a civil complaint against the National University of San Luis Gonzaga of Ica, since it was supposedly the one preventing it from making a definitive declaration of the tridactyl mummies as heritage, which meant incorporating them into the process. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Trust me, guys, this is actually pretty cool. Finally, the judge declared the claim inadmissible, ignoring the request of both parties, indicating that these obligations could only be demanded when the mummies are definitively declared as cultural heritage. The lawyer filed the corresponding appeal, and although with some delay, the resolution of elevation to the second instance, which is the Constitutional Court, has already been issued. Below, we published the judgment, says Nazca Mummies, the appeal, and the resolution of elevation. We also include the link to the video of the virtual hearing that took place before the resolution was issued. The university filed a civil lawsuit against the Ministry of Culture because the Ministry of Culture were failing their legal obligations under Article 8 to investigate and promote cultural heritage in the case of Nazca mummies. In January 2022, Maria and Wawita, the specimens, were provisionally legally defined as official cultural heritage, which meant that the Ministry of Culture has since then had a legal duty to investigate them. This has been extended to 2026, and the university's lawyer is asking for immediate full recognition, not an extension. The Ministry of Culture are stating that they don't agree with the ruling that Maria and Wawita are cultural heritage and will be performing scientific examinations to determine their authenticity. So what that means is that the authenticity of NHI, of these human alien hybrids, whatever they are being determined in the court system of Peru right now. We have litigation over the reality of NHI. We've got bodies, y'all, and this is what it means when we have bodies. They are going to be, hopefully, legally recognized as cultural heritage patrimony, and that means that they are legit. They are real. That is crazy. We are living in insane times. Let's see, I think it was Robin that had a good spin on it. This will place the Ministry of Culture into the position of having to argue that this non-human species, now known as the tridactyls, is in fact a culturally significant part of Peruvian history. Checkmate, Robin says. The judge has declared that not until the mummies are declared cultural patrimony definitively, these obligations can be fulfilled. The declaration of the Nazca mummies as cultural patrimony is disclosure. In other words, they have to be real in order to be considered cultural patrimony. And so that's what this is all about, and they're litigating this in court right now. I love it. We're having UFO disclosure litigated in court in Peru right now. I mean, who saw that coming, right? But that's what's going on right now, is that these beings might be certified legitimate by the court of Peru. That's right. We will have legal NHI, legally certified NHI. That's amazing, guys. That's incredible. And I'll link to this, and you can read more about this. Links to this WordPress article where there's more information. And yeah, so go ahead and read all about it. But we're living in crazy times, guys. We're living in crazy times. I love it. I love it. Oh yeah, what's this all about? This is crazy. From Stargate Voyager. How is it that a stegosaurus that apparently went extinct 66 million years ago is depicted on Cambodia's Ta Prohm temple? I got that. I nailed that. I nailed that, guys. Now, I went to Grok to ask Grok about this. The carving at Ta Prohm temple, often cited as depicting a stegosaurus, is part of a larger collection of fantastical and mythical creatures on the temple stonework, built in the late 12th to 13th century by the Khmer Empire, not evidence of dinosaurs coexisting with humans. Now, I'm not saying this is evidence of dinosaurs coexisting with humans. I don't think that's a thing, but you never know. There are some, you see a little indications of some anomalous stuff here and there, like some of the figurines found in the Nasca mummy treasure trove, that included the little tridactyl, the Virginia being head depiction or figurine. There were like dinosaur like objects, found figurines found in the treasure trove supposedly. So yeah, I mean, you never know. But could this thing right here simply be a representation of a mythological creature, and that's why it was on the temple? I mean, that's a very specific creature right there. I don't know if it looks exactly like a stegosaurus. I mean, I look at that head and I can see what might be horns there that look more, like triceratops or something, but maybe not. Maybe not. Either way, it looks pretty much like a stegosaurus. I'd love it if the tail wasn't cut off and you could see some spikes on there. But, could that be explained by simply representing a mythological creature? And if it is a mythological creature, what is that myth based on? Did humans see something like that? And they preserved an image of it somewhere for them to later depict in the temple? What do you think is going on here, guys? What do you think is going on here? I think that's really intriguing that you have such a close resemblance to a stegosaurus on this temple. And I'm not convinced by Grok's explanation that it's simply representing a mythological figure, unless their myths are really interesting. So let me know what you think about that. Let's see. Here we go. We have a good UFO sighting, if I can get to it. Is this it? No, the pyramids in China are always fascinating. Here we go. This is from Think Tank. Unknown object appears to crash in Hudson County, New Jersey. All right, let's take a look at this possible UFO crash.
So far away. As we take a look at Newark this morning, you can see the sun rising. It's another cold one, but is there or feels so far away as we take a
All right, what is going on there? That is cool. It's got a smeary trail that it's leaving behind it. And here it comes again. Is that a UFO crashing? Is that maybe a meteor coming in or something like that? And that's why it's leaving this trail, because it's burning. What's going on there? You'd expect if that was like a meteor, then people would be talking about it crashing. But if it's a UFO, it'd be covered up. So I thought that was a pretty cool sighting, but let me know what you guys think. And we got another cool sighting from John Bell, a real Florida UFO, who goes out just about nightly and gets fantastic sightings. And I encourage everybody to go check out his channel, Real Florida UFO. Check this out. Yeah, so he's tracking this one UFO, and then another one shows up. But yeah, and that was a fast-moving object right there. Look at that. So he's tracking this one UFO, and then he gets a fast mover. And here he's tracking another UFO, and he gets another UFO. And that one is a pretty fast one. And there looks like there's another one, a third one over there. Yeah, I mean, that is not a satellite, guys. Yeah, he gets this nightly contact. Sometimes they come down low and they're more, phantasmal or transparent and that kind of thing. And yet they do have substance. And sometimes they're more structured craft, seemingly, that just boogie on in the sky like that guy. Yet every night he gets this stuff. Let's go look at that fast moving object again. So he's looking, yeah, and then we got that fast mover, and you might think that's a shooting star or sometimes something, but sometimes the fast moving objects that he captures, just like that, will change course and direction. And so, yeah, and then they get, yeah, anyway, I love John. I love his channel, Real Florida UFO. He goes out and gets these captures nightly. Just amazing stuff. Just amazing stuff. Yeah. All right, I think I'll leave it there for the moment. But let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below. Buy one of my books. I'm a science fiction and fantasy writer. You can buy one of my novels in the link below. You can become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, much like this crazy long-legged elephant. Yeah, look at that guy. This is pretty awesome. AI is crazy, man. AI is crazy. Anyway, yeah, all that kind of good stuff. There's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.